She was born in La Piña City, Philippines, to Alan and Caroline Cabanos. Her earlier years were spent in Isabela and Quirino provinces. Her family moved to the United States of America when she was 4 years old. She has 3 equally talented siblings, Neil, Justin, and Erica. Deborah is active in school, academically maintaining a 4-point grade point average. She holds the secretarial position of the National Honor Society at her school and is a member of the Diversity Committee. She's an enthusiastic athlete, runs cross-country and track, jumps hurdles, and does varsity gymnastics for Rogers High School. She even plays chess. But still a typical teenager, Deborah loves to read and write and spend time texting, Facebooking, and going to the mall. She's also involved in the Rainier View Christian Church. As a student and decorated athlete, she dedicates her achievements to God. She strives to live her life to the fullest and aspires to become an anesthesiologist someday. So listen carefully to her essay. We're very proud of her.
Good evening. After winning the writing contest last year, I began to look forward to this year's writing contest. But as soon as I saw the topic for this year's, I began to freak out. How was I supposed to write a 1,500-word essay about a topic I barely knew about? After writing the first paragraph, the words started to pour out. And here it goes. Unite Filipinos throughout the nation. How can I, a young teenage girl, achieve this seemingly impossible task? Uniting the Filipino youth seems impossible because the youth are expected to excel in their studies, sports, music, and various other activities. Will the youth have time to be involved in the Filipino community? Also, do the youth have the desire needed to accomplish such a tremendous endeavor? The biggest question of all, are we Filipino enough to even try? A giant hurdle in uniting the younger generation is the attitude of apathy towards anything in relation to the Philippines. As a young child who migrated to the United States, I have been immersed fully in the American culture. The only aspects of my life that make me a Filipino is eating lumpia and pancit, occasionally watching the sappy soap operas on TFC, and understanding some of the Filipino and Ilocano language. Growing up in America makes me an American, a whitewashed Filipino. In most everyday circumstances, I forget that I am a Filipino among my Caucasian peers. During family gatherings, I find it difficult to share a common ground with my cousins who are also trapped in the apathy bubble. As sad as it sounds, I believe that a majority of the Filipino youth are in the same predicament that I am in. The Filipino culture is bursting with pride and uniqueness. It would be a shame to watch the future generation throw away their rich heritage and lose the value that our parents have tried to instill in us. Values such as education, family, faith, and foremost not forgetting who we are as Filipinos, whether full-blooded or not. As seemingly impossible as uniting may sound, the answer to overcoming this hurdle is quite simple. I personally can be a role model in the Filipino community to show other teenagers that being a Filipino and being proud of our heritage is amazing. Although I know that I can impact the Filipino community, I think it is up to our parents and the older generation to start uniting the youth. Filipinos have an array of parties every month, but none of them are ever targeted for teens or youth. Because of this, Filipino teenagers never show up. How are we supposed to unite with each other and the rest of the country if the younger generations of Filipinos are not connected to each other? In my own school, I know of only about 15 other students who are Filipino. Out of the 15, I am only friends with about 5. This means that I'm only associating myself with 1/3 of the Filipinos that are my age. If most of the teenagers are like me, then that means that we are missing out on the other 2/3. To fix this percentage problem and to get to know other Filipinos in our community, the people who plan giant get-togethers can have different teenagers help them plan events specifically for teenagers. It does not have to be fancy or super special. It just needs to be well planned so it appeals to all kids, no matter what age. A major part of parties is music. I know of a Filipino band that consists of 6 siblings. They range in ages from 6th grade to high school. They are all super talented, amazing singers and dancers, and can sing songs in English and Filipino. They would be the perfect entertainers for a younger generation event. As long as there's music and food and a whole bunch of teenagers, it will always be an amazing get-together. To accomplish events like these, I see a need for a Filipino community center where kids and teenagers alike can have a safe environment to meet and connect with each other. It can be a multi-purpose building where the youth can play sports or make music together. It can be a place where the cultural eye is being enlightened to the rich Filipino heritage, such as music and dance. I heard about a group called PAYO, which stands for the Filipino American Youth Organization. This organization is a nonprofit organization that resides in Tacoma that is dedicated to preserving the Filipino culture by engaging the members in diverse opportunities that showcase different cultural aspects like language, music, and dance. But how many Filipinos in our community know about this talented organization? I believe that having a community center will help promote organizations such as PAYO while creating more interest groups. It can be a meeting place for youth leadership roles. The leaders could then be a voice in the whole Filipino intergenerational community while planning for various meaningful activities. Not only can the youth become connected by sports, music, and dance, they can also be united by getting together and volunteering in their local communities. This can strengthen bonds with other Filipinos while also being visible in our community. There are so many opportunities out there for people to help out with. We could come together to clean up a park or take a couple of friends and help the elderly couple across the street. The possibilities are virtually endless. One possibility that could take a lot of work and planning is to team up with a global organization like World Vision. We could set up a food and clothing drive in our churches or schools. All of the proceeds we receive can be sent throughout the Philippines to help our loved ones and our home country. If it turns out to be very successful, it can be turned into a yearly event and fundraiser. All of the hard work that we input into this amazing outreach can touch our community and hopefully inspire all Filipinos around the United States to do the same in their respective communities for the benefit of our homeland. Although there are many things that a young Filipino can do to impact the country, there are some small challenges that they may face. I think that for this particular age group, the biggest obstacle would be finding the courage to stand up and have their voice heard. As a teenager, I can relate to being drawn into peer pressure and doing what your friends want you to do. Most students feel somewhat threatened by the idea of standing up, spreading their wings, and flying solo. Standing up and making a voice heard is not that difficult. Talk to parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends about how you can make a difference. If we find the support in the people closest to us, it would not be very difficult. Odds are they have amazing ideas and can help achieve any goals that we have. Talking to the older generation can not only help create new ideas, but also learn more about our heritage. The Filipino heritage is one filled with rich, amazing, diverse beauty. It truly would be a waste for our fine culture to be forgotten because of the negligence of our youth. So what can the youth do to preserve our culture? The youth can team up with the older generation, as mentioned, and help organize special events. The Filipino Community Center, if created, would be very beneficial to the local Filipino community. It will be a safe haven for those who are in need of a place where they can be free to do as they wish alongside people who care about them. Starting small by targeting the youth around us is the greatest way to unite kids and teenagers. By starting small, it can spread like wildfire to nearby communities, thus leading to county, state, and national levels. Imagine a small county like ours impacting the rest of the Filipino world by the baby steps we take. Even further, imagine a young teenage girl like me starting this chain-like reaction for the world to see. If I set aside my apathy and start caring, I can achieve anything I set my mind to. Uniting Filipinos throughout the nation, mission possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Now I would like to award her the $500 cash award and a certificate. Thank you very much. I think we're going to do pictures real quick.
David.
So as we do these pictures, I'm going to do what I do really well, which is ask questions. So while you're smiling there, obviously education is a huge thing. Talk to me about, all of you women are involved in education. How important is this segment? We're giving her money and we're giving her this plaque. it's important. Education is our future, isn't it?
I think this step is about all of us, the older generation, saying that we have confidence in Deborah and that she represents to us the key picture of what the world will look like in the future. So investing in her now is worth $1 million to all of us.
Absolutely, and that is the key, isn't it? And you were saying it's a chain reaction. Set aside that apathy. Are you going to do that?
Probably.
Where do you start? That's really the question, right?
Yeah, I guess you can start by starting in your own school and just making a small difference and being who you are.
Because if we each contribute, then at least we can get somewhere, correct? Another round of applause for them, everyone.